I get an email from one of the subscribers, and he says, Anthony, I read somewhere that if you get married between the ages of 18 and 25, that you have a high percentage chance of getting a divorce in your 30s. But if you get married after the ages of 35, people that get married after the age of 35 have a tendency to stay together longer. He wants to know my views, and he wants to know, when is the right time and the right age for a person to get married? Are people rushing to get married, or should they wait later in life? What's the right age to get married? Well, this video is about why there's never a right age or a right time to get married. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Anthony Spade channel.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I want you to watch the entire video, all right? If you like the video, press the like button at the end, press the subscribe button at the end, and press the notifications button at the end of the video. Okay, today we're going to be talking about when is the right age to be married, to marry. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk about here is that majority of you guys out there, you want to get married because you're still inside of a blue pill world. You're still inside of a world where you still believe in a fantasy and you're not taking in any red pill knowledge. That's perfectly normal for you to feel that way, because us as red pill men, we are a small niche community, and we realize that a lot of blue pill guys are still hooked up to the machine. So I'm just going to give you my stone cold advice. If you want to get the marriage, get the wedding ring, but don't do the paperwork, you'll be okay. That way, if something goes wrong, you still walk away with your freedom and your life is not disrupted like that. It's okay to go ahead and live out the fantasy if there's no paperwork, if you want to satisfy yourself. That's the only reason why you're asking me these questions. It's because you're looking at me and you're like, well, you're strong enough to do that, Anthony. I'm not strong enough to do that. I actually want to be with a woman because that's what I live for. Okay, what we're telling you is life is set up a little bit differently now than what it was 40 years ago. Go ask your grandma, when it came to dating, how was dating? When it came to being married, how was marriage? Everything has a different cycle. And that's going to take me into my first thing. Each generation has a different definition of what marriage material is. What's marriage material to a woman now was not marriage material back in 1950. So you have to understand the generation keeps changing, that people are not understanding that the younger generation doesn't understand us. This is why you still have people getting married. Women nowadays' definition of a husband is somebody that's going to worship them, whether they're working or not working. Men are not supposed to be the providers nowadays. Women are. You're fighting against the herd. You're fighting against the matrix when you're asking to be married, because every 10 years, the definition of marriage changes. Think about it. During the Roman Empire, marriage was just a contract. It was just a contract for people to be together. 5 men could marry each other. 7 women could marry each other. Whoever owned land, they would marry each other. It turned into a romantic thing during the 1500s. That's what you have to understand. You must understand the diamond company has only been around since 1948. Don't nobody use wedding rings until 1948, and it started in America. So you have to understand the marriage, the fairy tale, all of that plays in the part. Life has switched around. You got to get out of that fairy tale. I'm going to tell you what messed up marriage in the past 2 years. Meghan Markle. She got the role of a queen. She got the royal wedding, and she gave up everything to be a hard-working woman. Look at Jay Cutler. His wife just is finna divorce him now, right? And she telling all the other women, do not get married. What part aren't you guys learning about what's happening inside the matrix, how the roles of men and women are changing? You know who you sound like? You sound like a desperate female. That's what desperate women do. And now we're about to go into my second reason. The reason why you're asking that is because of your life timeline. Your life timeline is what has messed the entire population of people up, because the fairy tales show certain people in certain age groups living out that life. So now people have in their mind, I need to be married, have kids, and rich by the time I'm 26. So the closer you get to your dream timeline, your life timeline, when all this marriage and kids is supposed to happen, the more desperate you become. When women get close to that age 30, where they felt like I should have been married and had kids already, they become very desperate. And when you're very desperate, your emotions are off and you have a tendency to date the wrong person. Let me tell you something. The divorce rate is at 70% because most people went past their timeline. They went past the time where they said that they were supposed to be married and they were supposed to have kids. They supposed to be rich by that time. So everyone is in a desperate situation trying to find someone who's going to conform to their dream person so they can get back to their timeline. That's what's going on. You are past your timeline. So you still believe in marriage, but all your questions, all your red pills that you're asking is out of desperation. Your emotions are off. So now, chances are, if you do not take the red pill and you do not wake up, you're going to rebel against the red pill community. That's why I don't like when you guys send me these emails, because I know psychologically, if you're still believing in love and marriage, you're so close to rebelling on the red pill community. The red pill community is what's giving you the knowledge to understand what's actually going on right now, the change of minds, the change of people in reality. You can easily get married, bro. There's a desperate woman out there for you. But let me tell you one thing. 70% of women are married to the guy that they never even wanted. It's all because she went past her timeline. She got really desperate and settled for the man that was going to worship her. The more low and less valuable a woman feels, the more she wants a man to worship her. So what happens is that guy that she marries because she was desperate and she was past her timeline, he takes and put her back on a pedestal. So when he puts her back on a pedestal and she starts to look better for him, that's the thing. This is the guy that spends the money to keep his wife looking good, to keep his wife driving a nice car. What you don't know is that he's giving her the confidence to cheat on him with the guy that she initially wanted before she was desperate, the guy that she felt needed to be in her timeline. That's how fast a woman will change on you. Jay Cutler was at the height of his game. He stopped playing football, wasn't making that much money no more. His wife had 3 kids, said, you know what? I was famous before. I could be famous again. I could be on top of my stuff again because I can make millions of dollars without being married to this man. And this man can sit at home and take care of our 3 kids at his house while I go rip and run the streets doing what I want to do and grab me something that can beat it up. Because maybe Jay Cutler was the guy that could fulfill her dream world when she went past her dating marriage timeline. So, ask yourself, did you tell yourself, man, by the time I'm 25, I want to be rich, I want to have the girl of my dreams, I want to have 2 kids, yeah. So then you get past your timeline, now you're like, oh shit, man, I gotta hurry up and get married, I gotta hurry up and do this, man, because if I don't, I'm a loser. You have to understand, as much as women try to tell you they're independent, their greatest super weapon against another woman is a husband. That's what you gotta understand. See, a woman to slide off and get married at any given moment because marriage is the ultimate jealousy for another woman, because not every woman is going to find them a blue pill that they don't like to manipulate, to worship them, to give them all the money, and then have the kids for insurance, have the marriage for insurance. Once she gets bored, clip them off. She's still getting money from him while she gained her confidence back to go and sleep with the guy that she initially wanted. That's the cycle of what women are doing now. So if you want to know how I feel about when it's the right age to get married, you out of your mind, bro. If you want to do it to satisfy yourself, get a ring and have the wedding, spend all the money, I can't stop you from doing that. All I can say is don't do the paperwork. If that girl says, I'll take you, no paperwork, no nothing, I am here. Keep her. Keep her. Keep her. But guess what? You ain't gonna never find that. Subscribe to the channel. Hasta la vista.